Okay, and welcome again. We're going to start with my favorite trainer, who's Darryl Davis, and I like him for several reasons. He's very down to earth. He concentrates on service, not sales, and he's a Long Island guy with a Brooklyn accent. So how can you not like that? In any case, he had a training recently, and he went through the 7 habits of highly successful agents. Let's see how many of these are your habits. So number 1, they know their worth. So when you're talking to somebody about your commission, you are completely convinced that you deserve it and more. Very much in line with when you have a listing presentation. You shouldn't be settling for the company minimum. You should always be asking for what you're worth. Number 2, they focus on building their business. So they are not transaction people, they are relationship people, and they work on joining and building their relationships and keeping in touch with people day in, day out, week in, week out. Number 3, they know how to generate now business. So if I told you your life depended on getting a listing by the end of the month, do you think you could do it? Okay, you should be able to. They plant seeds for future business. We have to understand the pipeline is as important as what we're doing now. You know, because if the pipeline is empty, even if we're doing stuff now, we are not going to be happy in 2 or 3 months. We should always be looking ahead. So right now we're looking ahead to November and December. What are you doing now to get business then? Number 5, they use stories, metaphors, and analogies. People understand stories. You cannot talk people into something, but you can change their mind by telling a story. We all have our horror stories that we can use to explain to people why they should listen to us. We need to use them. Number 6, they're deal makers. They know when they have a motivated seller and a competent, able buyer, they know how to make sure that they get over the turbulence that's in a lot of our deals. And number 7, they keep the faith and stay focused. So this is a business where you need to show up every day with the right attitude. And if you don't do that, you can't be a top agent. So think about how many of those you're working on right now, and how many of those need a little bit more work to get you to that level of a more successful agent. Okay, so our guest speaker today is Michael Laurie. He's with DLA Capital, and he has a different take on financing. So Michael's going to explain to us about alternative financing for residential real estate. So when your client does not fit the normal mold of getting a regular mortgage, Michael has alternatives. Okay, Michael, take it away.
Thank you very much, John. Good morning, everyone. Mike Laurie, DLA Capital Partners. If it needs a dollar or touch the dollar, we'll take care of it. So I've been doing this a very long time. We'll leave it at that. So in this market, what I've been doing and we've been finding is a lot of people, not just necessarily not being able to always get a mortgage, but timing. Some of the sellers want no mortgage contingencies. They want to sell now. or they've worked on a mortgage for a period of time, and for whatever reason, their mortgage bank has come back and told them that they can't qualify, and so they have a short period of time to close. So we have an old school bridge product. We take the existing home that they're trying to sell. We take the new home that they want to purchase. We put a blanket loan on both of them. We get them one loan, we pay off the new house they're purchasing, and we then allow them the time to sell their home without a gun to their head to get maximum dollars. It's not cheap, but we've been doing 2 or 3 a week because the market is just as crazy as it was a year ago. And now with even less inventory, the buyers, I should say the sellers, are becoming even more demanding, and the buyers are panicking. So that's one of the products we have. And then we also have a whole army of non-QM, or the non-qualifying mortgages. Those are back. So if they have, we can do bank statement programs, we can do asset depreciation loans, we can do things that just don't fit Fannie and Freddie. So just want to let you know that that world is out there. We do all the conventional commercial loans. We do, fix and flip. We do lines of credit. We do all those things. But in your world, it's really that client that, has a home they need to sell. A lot of them have a lot of equity, but they don't have the time to close on that first, to get that mortgage, to close on that new home. That's where we step in, and we're able to help them to get closed. We can close in as little as 5 days. I don't like ringing the bell to do that because some of the towns on Long Island, getting title work is still a pain, but most of it's been reopened. I've been getting most of my titles within 7 days, even here on Long Island. So if you have any questions, or if you're not sure of something, or if you just see a deal that's been dragging on and you think it's going to implode, let's get out ahead of it and find out what's really going on. I have no problem getting on the phone with a broker or a client to find out what's the real reason that commitment's not getting issued, or that clear to close is not coming through. My goal is to help you do what you need to do, which is make money. We're all here to close deals quickly, efficiently, because the least amount of times you touch a file, the more valuable that file is to you when you look at the hours you put into it. So if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out. These things have been turning and burning pretty quickly. And one thing that I'll always tell you, I'm the fastest no in the West. If it's something that we can't do, you're going to know either the same day or the next day why we can't do it, not 6 or 8 weeks later. So we're here to help.
Michael,
Yes, sir.
could you explain to us how that bridge loan product works? What's the interest rate? What's the timing of it? Can somebody take one and 3 months later it disappears and they go into a regular mortgage?
Yep. So the bridge product works. So you have the home that they live in today. And most of the people that come to me either have very small mortgages or no mortgages. They've been in the home a long time, and they're really, really, really trying to get into something else. Not always something bigger, but sometimes something smaller. But the timing, either they're semi-retired or they're business owners, they got beat up by COVID, so their 20 tax returns, looked a mess. And so the process is we take their existing home and we then also leverage the new home. The timing on that is, like I said, it can be done in 5 days. We usually do it in about 3 weeks. Close from beginning to end. They'll close the loan. At that time, there'll be a lien on both homes. Normally, and again, there's no normal, but normally the loan only lasts for 90 days, because at that point, they'll then, if it's not already on the market, put their existing home on the market, but they'll put it at the dollar amount they want and let the market sell their house, not put it on a price that will sell it quickly because they're panicked. And then after 90 days, the house sells They pay off the first mortgage on the new home. They now have no mortgage and the balance of the funds in their pocket. And the only difference is that you have to put the property into an LLC. And that LLC is the big deal that most people, they don't understand, their attorneys can explain, but they're the only member of the LLC. So most people know it's common ownership. So there's no difference, except it allows us to do it as a commercial loan. So the rest of
So both properties have to be under an LLC,
yes,
the same LLC?
you can do it in the same LLC, yes,
Okay.
because one of them will be sold, the second one stays in it,
Buyer, the person who's.
and then after
creating
that,
this.
yeah. So if you
So
have a
what would it
contract ready-
typically cost somebody who was, let's say, downsizing and getting a $500,000 condo?
So they're doing something like that, and say there was a $500,000 loan for 3 months. So the interest rate's 12% per year. So it costs them about a point a month to do this loan. So if they're doing 500,000, it's about 15,000 in interest that they're gonna pay, and they pay 2 points on the loan. So it'll cost them about $25,000 to
Okay,
do it. But for peace of mind and for normally it's, I gotta have that house, they're happy to spend it, because at the end, they can write it off. That LLC stays open until the next tax year. Those expenses are all written off. And any expenses and things that you do in the house initially, while it's in the LLC, they write it off. Because it's showing as an investment home at the time.
so it seems that you need a really good accountant to be on your side when this is happening.
Yes, you do, but I help them form the LLC, because most accountants or attorneys will charge them between $22,000 and $2,500 to form an LLC. There's a company called Hubco, which has been around forever. I'll send that link to you, John. They charge $395 and the filing fee, and it's lower in Long Island. So for less than $1,000, the LLC is fully formed. I don't charge a fee. I help the client, because it doesn't make sense to charge a fee on a fee. I start getting into that commercial, fee and a fee and a fee for that, and a fee for this. We don't need to do that. So we help the client to get there from soup to nuts.
So what about transferring the house to the LLC?
So the existing home doesn't have to be transferred to the LLC. At closing, it transfers. So we
Okay.
don't do it prior. So when you close on the first home that you're acquiring, and that second home, they do the documents at that point.
Okay,
Keep one closing, keep it clean, keep it easy. So once it closes, both homes are in the LLC. Then the other home is sold, and then there's only one home in the LLC. And after the tax year, their accountant dissolves it, or some people keep it because there's certain write-offs in certain states that are allowed in an LLC that you are not allowed to take as an individual homeowner. So it's really up to your accountant.
yeah. Yeah, the only disadvantage of the LLC, keeping the LLC on Long Island, is that I don't believe you can get the star exemption if the house is in a LLC name. So that's probably something that
Yeah,
the
the accountant
buyer,
would have to look at, correct.
yeah,
That's
okay.
correct. That's why
So-
you dissolve it after a certain period of time.
yeah. One of the reasons why I brought Michael onto the call is that, we are running into deals where there is a problem, and at least this is an option for, somebody who has a lot of equity in their current house and just has to get out, and for some reason cannot get a mortgage. And the other thing is, you take the total cost of 25,000, you probably get half that back by not having to fire sale the house when it's listed. One option is to, put it at a drop dead price and close it in a week. Or the other option is to do this kind of financing, and then you're able to take the time to sell the house at market value. And, on a $800,000 house, the 25,000 might not be anything. This is not a product for everybody, But one of the things we need is to have a tool in our toolbox so that we can help our clients get to where they need to go. And if a mortgage person can't help them, then there is an option.
We had an example, John, just recently. We closed a two-part deal. They were selling their home in Huntington and buying a home in New Hampshire, but the timing of it was not going to work because the house in New Hampshire wasn't going to be ready to close until a period of time. And then the house in Huntington, she initially had gotten an offer of 1-1, but by being able to wait a hot minute, she got an offer of 1-2. So her additional costs were absorbed in the additional dollars that she got. And because we gave a commitment, the house in New Hampshire got locked up. She didn't lose it. So she ended up winning on both sides. She made a little more on New Hampshire, a little more on Huntington, and she didn't lose New Hampshire. So we're just trying to help people to get it locked up. The other thing we do also is if you have commercial listings, I know everybody doesn't always deal with them, but if you happen to, I'll pre-qualify them, the listing, so that I can let you know what that listing will support from a financing standpoint, because commercial is very different than residential. And people who don't do it for a living, when they try to think about what it's going to cost them, they always find out the hard way, because there's no 3 or 5% down with commercial. It doesn't exist. So it's always good to know what they have to put down, what the market rate is. I just got a bank to extend a program they have for owner occupied commercial real estate. It's 10-year fixed at 3.3% on a 25-year schedule. Really cheap money. That's very cheap. And it's extended through March of next year. So if you have anybody who's a doctor, somebody buying a warehouse, anything they're going to operate themselves, we can talk about that program.
Excellent. So Michael's cell phone number is on the screen. If you don't take it down and you think a month from now that you need him, just text me and I will give you his name and number again. And I appreciate you being here, Michael.
I appreciate the time. If you guys have any questions, don't hesitate. John and I are in touch all the time. And have a very safe, have a good holiday and a safe weekend.
Okay, thanks, Michael.
All right, thank you.
Okay, let's get on with some announcements. So let's do them chronologically. I have a funeral to go to on Saturday. My brother-in-law's father died. It was not sudden. He was 97 years old, but it's still hard when you lose a dad. So luckily they're here local in Centerport, and I will be going to the wake tomorrow afternoon and evening and going to the funeral on Saturday. So if you need me either day after about 1 o'clock tomorrow, please just text or email me and be a little bit patient. I am around, but obviously I will be busy with that. On a better note, next weekend is my birthday, and my wife and I are going out to Montauk for a couple of days. So we're going from Sunday to Tuesday, and I will be available limited, but Leslie also will be around to back me up if there's something that you need to get done very quickly. It's coming soon, the September 30th International Lunch at Bethpage Park. On Monday, I will be sending that survey asking you what food you want me to cook, and we'll see who the winner of that is. And I'm really looking forward to it. I looked ahead to the weather. Looks like we'll have a nice day. And I'm hoping everybody can save that date, September 30th, between 12:30 and 2:30. We are absolutely going to have a sales meeting then. So the sales meeting will be at 10:30 and the event will start at 12:30. I will be leaving the office right after the sales meeting to help set up, but not a lot of work to do. Not like the picnic we had. Everybody's bringing their own stuff. We're just setting a table and let's have a good time. Okay, everybody got an email about Soaring to Success. If you have not tried Deborah's Success Program, it starts on September 28th. It goes Tuesdays and Thursdays, and it's 5 weeks, each Tuesday and Thursday morning, I believe. And if you'd like to sign up, you send me a text or an email, and I will put you on the distribution list to get the registration. Okay, I'd like to show you a couple of things on desk. Before I do that, I'm going to remind Bobby that she's going to talk to us about video a little bit. Are you ready for that? You're muted, Bobby.
Hi. Yeah, but my new car is being dropped off to me in like 15 minutes. Sorry, but I can.
Okay,
I could,
why don't you talk about it now? Tell us what you did and how it's working.
okay. It's actually, I was just going to send you one of the videos that I did. It's pretty much, I did like a boot camp with this woman who's a real estate agent, and she just does, you know, she teaches you some techniques on how to survive in this market because it's digital. So she had like these little things for us to do. And one of them was to use video through even just friends. So it gets you in the habit of, like we talked about, building relationships. And that is very important. So when we were just talking about all those things, it's pretty much what that was also based on. And it doesn't have to be something about, you know, us being realtors. It's more about building friendships and them, you know, talking to others. And you just, so you practice doing these videos to first, you just start off with your friends. And like how we talked about having like the Facebook page. It just gets you in the habit of doing videos and connecting with people. So we would do 10 a day, and you just build on that just to start practicing. So I actually sent you one. It'll get to you in a little bit. And it does work. I've had some great responses from, you know, of course, at first it was just friends and family, but they're like, oh my God, that is so sweet. It just makes you memorable. People, they like them. Like you said, stories, you know, if it's a birthday or an anniversary, you just kind of start to engage with, you know, with your, like your contacts. And you can also do maybe when you're farming, you can, you know, any of those, you could just start doing these little chats or the video chats, or, you know, through text messaging and yeah, so it's stuff like that. There was just there's a lot more. I could probably go into it a little later. I just know they're going to be here in a minute, but
Okay.
yeah, it helps and it's getting me more used to doing these videos, because it's all on, like you said, Facebook, Instagram. So the more you can get out there and pick a story, or, you know, pick something to talk about underneath, you know, and just being more involved and just keep blasting and just keep putting it up. And there are things through Facebook which are fairly cheap for you to get more public. So it won't just be with your friends and family, where, you know, like when we go on our phones and if we look up a certain thing, you'll get thousands of ads. And yeah, and I think it starts at like $10. They're not that expensive. So I'm looking to put one of those together, and we'll just take it from there. But it's definitely, I'm getting more comfortable in general, talking to people and marketing myself, and, you know, just being a good friend and, you know, noticing things about them. So, yeah.
Excellent. Excellent. I hear your passion, and that's really what it's about. My biggest thing is we have to enjoy what we do to build our business. And we have a lot of choices about how we build our business. but we have to enjoy it. You can hear by Bobby talking, you can hear that she's enjoying it. She's energized by it. And that's fantastic. That's really good. You're looking good, and good luck with the new car.
Thank you.
Dan, you raised your hand.
Yeah, I just want to talk about what Bobby spoke about, because I've done this. And you know what? It's a pain in the ass to, like, you get something on your mind, right, Bobby? And then you're like, oh shit, it's so much easier to just hit your phone,
Mhm.
get the camera up and say, hey, Bobby, I just wanted to let you know I was thinking about you. I hope all is well, blah, 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 blah. And you send it. You send it via text. There's a company called BombBomb. You could do it by email.
Okay.
However, it's easier this way. And I have to tell you, she's right. The response that you get back, because you know what? People all day, they pick up these text messages, but when they see a video, they're like, oh, what is this? And then when it's something nice, the reception is unbelievable. Really
Yep.
is unbelievable.
Yes.
So-
And
thank
you've been
Thanks,
using
Bobby.
it
That
with
was
your listing prospects, right, Dan?
Yeah, so what I did was I sent it out to, actually, I have someone I'm trying to get a listing with in Massapequa, and it's his mom's home. And you know what? You don't know if they get in the text. They could pick it up and read it. But when he picked it up, he was like, oh my God, this is such a personal touch. I appreciate it. And he's getting down to, like, I mean, now I text him, he picks up my text and he responds back. So, because sometimes that text will go out and it's like, it's ghosted. No one will respond back
Yep.
to you. And
You
you're
got
like, oh, should I
crickets.
send
Yep.
another one? But I will tell you that it definitely does work.
So it's sort of
Definitely
an icebreaker to get the person to respond to you, right?
Yep. And then and like Bobby said, we have that thing on our CRM where you can send a birthday card out. Just think about sending that birthday card out with a video of you saying, hey, Jim, Mary, Sue, whoever. I just want to, I know today's your birthday. I just want to wish you a happy birthday. It goes a long, long way. So anyway.
Excellent. Thanks
That's
for
my
that,
2
Dan.
cents, John.
What's that?
I said, that's my 2 cents.
Okay, good. Okay. Any questions about what we've done so far today? Anybody have anything? Put it in the chat or unmute yourself. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen now. And, I'm going to start at DeltaNet because that's where we start everything. And then we go to Coldwell Banker Desk. And we have to hit sign in. And there's 2 things I wanted to share with you today. One is a change and one is something we really haven't used much, but I took a training on it and it's pretty cool. So the first thing is MoxieWorks. If you remember, if you used it before, this is a presentation tool, and it used to say Moxie Presents. So for some reason, they had to change it. What MoxieWorks is the program that Coldwell Banker uses for their franchises. That is the equivalent of DeltaNet. Not as good as DeltaNet, but equivalent. We decided not to move to that, but to stay with DeltaNet. But we like the Moxie Presents, which is a great presentation tool. So when you click on it now, it doesn't look like what you clicked on before. So I thought I'd show you that quickly so that you get it. See, it shows you your profile. That does not help you much, right? Okay. But if you click this little logo on the top left-hand corner, it brings you to where you were brought to when you clicked on Moxie Presents. And here's all the presentations that I've created. You can go and create a new presentation, edit an old presentation. We've done a training on this, so I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it. But I wanted to make sure you understood that The program is still there. It's just hidden behind something else. So you're not going to see Moxie Presents as a tile. You're going to see Moxie Works. And all you have to do is click on that and then the Coldwell Banker logo on the top left-hand corner. If you ever have any problem with any of this technology, you shouldn't be spending, hours, certainly not even more than 10 minutes. Just quick text me and I will let you know what you're doing wrong and get you on the right thing. So I wanted to show you BrandServe because there's a lot of digital assets you can use in there for your marketing. So they call their things tactics, and there are all kinds of things here. There are videos, there are photos, there are all kinds of things for different holidays. And it is a process to use them. So I'm just going to show you. So I was looking for a picture of a house with a Coldwell Banker sign on it. So instead of worrying about going down and taking a picture, this is a professional picture that's done, and you basically hit download. Now, let me go through and let's do the photography assets. And there's all kinds of things you can select here. So you could pick a night lit house. You could pick a house with a pool. You could pick a house on the seashore. There's all kinds of things for settings: interior, exterior, no background, day, night, suburban, urban, sunset. You just click on what you want, and then the picture comes up. So let's say we wanted this aerial shot of a coastal home. We would click on it, and we would hit download now, accept the download terms, and distribute the file. And now that download will start shortly. So it pays, there it is, it's ready to be put on my desktop. If you're looking for photography, logos, posters, social media, videos, virtual meeting backgrounds, they're all there. They're all professionally done. There's just one caveat with this. A lot of the videos want to charge you for customizing them. And it's a little bit crazy. They want to charge you $350 to customize it. But you can download it. And if you have a video editing program, you can customize it yourself. All you'd have to do is add an end card with your information, and voila, that video is good for you. They also give you end cards to use that you can customize. So let's say an online video end card. If I hit customize, and now I can pick American Homes. And I can put my name in there. And I can put my area code. It's a strange way they put it. I can put my email in there. And let me scroll down. I can put my URL there. and I can put a license number if I want. And then when I hit generate proof, it's going to create a video. And there it is. This is an end card now that I can add to any video, and it's already done for me. So I think it is a really great resource. We do have, all the assets that keep being distributed. Being distributed by our marketing committee. And now we have a marketing director, so they'll be coming from him too. But if you're looking for something else in terms of, let's say, just photography that you need to add to your website, you need pictures or whatever, you understand that you're supposed to follow the guidelines for not breaking the law and stealing other people's work, copyright law. So these are all copyright-free assets that you can use that the company provides for you. So it certainly helped me. I used to go to other sites, other sites that had photos and either pay a small fee to pass the copyright or find a site that had copyright-free photos. And now we can use BrandServe to do that. So if you haven't dug in there, I recommend very strongly that you do. And then if you have any questions about any of the technology, either on Desk or on DeltaNet, the company is spending quite a bit of money on these resources. My job is to get you comfortable with them and using them and taking the benefit of all the things that we set up for you. So we're very interested in making sure we get that done. Any questions about either BrandServe or DeltaNet or MoxieWorks?
Hey,
Yeah,
John,
Dan.
I don't see Cole Realty on my tiles anymore. Is that
Oh,
something I
that's
did?
weird. Let me go
Okay.
back in and check. Hold on.
I saw it on yours. I didn't see it. I don't see it on mine.
On your DeltaNet? Or on the Coldwell Banker Desk?
No, on the Coldwell Banker desk.
Okay, let me see if it's on mine. Yep. Okay. So unfortunately, this is not like DeltaNet where I can log in as you. But what I recommend is you scroll all the way down and hit show all. And if it still doesn't show up, you can hit add an app and you can put in Cole resource and it should pop up.
Okay.
If it doesn't, let me know and I can check it out. I've never seen that there's been much problem with these. Usually it's just your tiles get rearranged. You can move the tiles around to move the ones that you use most up top. And if there's an issue with it, we'll get Coldwell Banker help desk on it.
Thank you.
Okay, great. Okay, so we're ending a little early today, but better end early than drag it on. I think you have some value here with knowing that there are alternatives to traditional funding, especially in this market where a seller might want to buy before they sell, and that might be useful. Quentin, are you driving?
No, sir. I pulled over when you said you're ending early with hope.
Okay, I'll give you a minute to tell us interest rates. I think they're exactly where they were when we had 2 weeks ago, right?
Yeah, it's a boring roller coaster. Goes up a little, down a little. We haven't seen much difference. Everything's been going sideways. You can still get rates in the high twos. The Fed is meeting next week, and there's quite a bit of housing data next week. So we would expect that the roller coaster will be busy next week, and then we'll see a lot of ups and downs. So if you're closing the week after next and you are not a fan of volatility, now is a great time to lock it down, because next week we might be in for a ride, and it may not be pleasant.
Okay, thanks for the heads up. Appreciate it. Okay, I am going to close the meeting for now, and thank you very much all for attending. If you need me over the weekend or tomorrow afternoon, please text, do not call me, and have a great weekend.